Good morning. I'm Natalie Thompson, a member of your parish committee. Glad to see everyone here, whether you're online or here in this beautiful sunny sanctuary looking at the snow. If you're a visitor today or a relative newcomer, we're especially happy to have you here, and we hope you will join us downstairs after the service for coffee and conversation. Our mission is to build community, search for meaning, deepen our spirituality, and make a better world. If you have any questions about First Parish or about Unitarian Universalism, someone from our membership team is always at the welcome table during coffee hour downstairs. And our minister, Reverend Lisa, or our director of Lifespan Education are also available after the service and will be happy to chat with you. We're always grateful for all the people who pull a service together. Their names are in the order of service. Please remember to silence your cell phones. And now join me for a minute in saying hello to those around you and waving to those online. Where's the... And now we have an announcement from Ted Barnes and Jay Woodruff.
Hello, everybody. Ted and I, along with Lynn Lipcon, are members of the First Parish Visioning Team, formed about 3 years ago by the Parish Committee. This year, the Visioning Team is testing some membership initiatives designed to attract new people to our community, and you can help. These grassroots efforts require very little work on your part.
So if you think of this as a takes a village kind of idea, the first of these initiatives is Bring a Friend. Over the past 2 years, First Parish has added quite a few non-religious events that are open to the general public. The idea here is to encourage new people to walk into our doors and see what we're all about.
For instance, coming up soon are a Sunday, January 26th jazz concert here in the sanctuary.
A Friday, January 24th, post-inauguration potluck dinner in the vestry.
And another Friday dinner event on February 7th that we're calling Tacos and Tunes, also in the vestry. And later this year, the First Parish is hosting historian Jane Siaka for a book signing of her new work, Enslavement in the Puritan Village, The Untold History of Sudbury and Wayland, Massachusetts.
So while admittedly Jay and I have no friends, if you plan to come to any of these events, why not reach out to a friend and encourage them to join you? So for example, for the Tacos and Tunes one, I have a friend in Boston that I've played music with. I have kids in the area who have little kids and might want to come, and a friend that is a member of First Parish that doesn't come very often, and maybe get him to come in the door. So a small gesture may help boost our membership over the long run.
Last week, you may have noticed that we put out several new red mugs, such as this one, that we encourage visitors to use at coffee hour. All we ask of you is to greet that visitor and say hi.
So First Parish is launching some low-effort, light-lift projects designed to attract new visitors, and we'd love to have your help get them off the ground.
Reach out to us in the vestry at coffee hour to learn more, or email us we have our own email address at First Parish, visioning@uuwayland.org for more information. And thank you. Now I'd like to ask the Cullen family to come up and light the chalice.
Good morning. With open minds and loving hearts, we gather to search for meaning, to care for one another, and to work together for a better world.
Before the choir sings their invocation, there is something that is asked to be said before this piece, which is that this was written by June Jordan in honor of the women of South Africa. That was just beautiful, choir. Thank you. Good morning. I'm Reverend Lisa Perrywood. I'm the interim minister here at First Parish in Wayland. My pronouns are she and her. This month, our theme is freedom. And today we'll talk about how, even in these worrying and perilous times, we have the freedom to choose to step out of our comfort zones to be a little bit more courageous. How even in our vulnerability, we can find the strength to speak out because our voices are needed now more than ever. We are indeed the ones we've been waiting for. This is Instructions on Living in a Broken World by Lindsay Meyer Hartley of Still We Rise. Lean into community. Seek out love. Applaud the good you see. Keep paying attention. Talk to your neighbors. Dance to the music and embrace art. Look for love and small joys. Take breaks and relish in nourishing your body. Donate what you can. Linger at the dinner table with friends. Check in with your people. Let yourself grieve. Love one another as deeply as you can. The storm is upon us and we must hold on. Don't give up. We are here together. Dear friends, come now into this beloved and sacred space we co-create each week and let us worship together. And now please rise as you're willing and or able and join in singing hymn number 346, Come Sing a Song with Me.
sounds so loud. Is it really that loud? It really is that loud, isn't it? Okay, we good? Let's try again. Good morning. It's good to see you. My name is Kate Holland. I am the Director of Lifespan Education here, and my pronouns are she and her. So this morning, I have a great story to share with you that's about an 8-year-old girl, Lou. And Lou and her friends were great adventurers. They would fly planes across the yard and have fun buzzing down on all of the little tiny bugs. They would build forts with pillows and tables and sheets that were stronger than any other fort there was. And they would save all of those wild stuffed animals that would get stuck in the chair and other places. They loved adventures, and Lou was usually the one to come up with all the great ideas. But one day her friend said, "Let's be pirates today." And everyone thought that was a great idea. And they said, "We need a ship. We need a ship to be pirates in." And her friend said, "Look, there's a tree. Let's climb the tree, and that will be our pirate ship." And they all scampered up, except for Lou. Lou looked, and Lou kept thinking, I like adventure, but I like my adventure on the ground. So Lou said, maybe we should play down here instead. And her friends were like, "No, this is perfect. Look, we're up high. We can see everything. It'll be so much fun." And Lou said, "Well, I hear my mom calling, and I think I should go inside and talk to her." Lou found the couch and thought, what a wonderful boat the couch would be. And the boat isn't high up, it's down on the ground. So Lou went out, and she suggested to her friends that would be a better boat. But they were like, "No, really, it's so much more fun up here." Lou was like, I think I have to clean my room. So she went in for a little while, and she waited, and she said, "I really want to be with my friends." So she went out, and she looked at the tree, and she was really, really scared. And she didn't want to do it. She didn't think she could do it. And what if she fell down? Because then maybe she'd get hurt. So Lou's friends kept saying, "Come up, Lou, come up." And even though she was scared, she decided she would give it a try. So she started climbing, and oh my gosh, I'm so far up. And after about 1.5 inches, she went bloop down to the ground again. But she kept trying, and she'd get a little bit higher and a little bit higher, but she couldn't quite get there. So her friend said, "You know what? We'll come down and we'll have a pirate ship on the sofa for today." But Lou said, "You know what? I'm going to work and try to do this thing that scares me. I'm going to try every day, and hopefully I'll get just a little bit higher every day until I can get up where my friends are playing." One of the things I think this story shows me is that even when you feel like you know all the things, all of us have one of those things inside us that scares us. It's not our most wonderful thing that we know. But being brave isn't about not being afraid of something. Being brave is about being afraid of something and doing it anyway. So before we go off to our classes, I want to introduce Anna. Come on up. I am so excited to say that Anna is going to be with us in our Seek Room for the rest of the year. She's going to be working with the kids, and we're going to have lots of fun when we're downstairs in the rooms. So, yay! Okay, so now I'm going to ask my friends to come down to the Seek Room, and you're all going to sing Gadiamos, Odie. No, you're not.
Gaudeamus, 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 Hodie. Gaudeamus, gaudeamus, Hodie. The offering we give each week is a symbol of our commitment to this faith community and to the life and works of our congregation. Instructions on how to donate online are in the order of service. If you're here for the first time, please let the plate pass you by. You are our guest. Our offering today is shared with Open Table Food Pantry in Maynard. Open Table's mission is to end hunger in the local community by providing healthy food in ways that respect the dignity and diversity of those served, offering a wide variety of healthy and culturally appropriate food choices and meal programs, and engaging a team of diverse, committed, passionate staff and volunteers. From their website, they say, we believe that people should not be hungry. We recognize that economic, racial, and gender inequality are the main drivers of food insecurity. We welcome our neighbors in need with compassion and respect, and we strive to end hunger by addressing with our partners the systemic causes and immediate impacts of food insecurity. We receive your generosity with gratitude and in appreciation of all that sustains us. Your gifts maintain the strength of this community and all it does within these walls, as well as the work we do together to make the world better. The offering will now be given and gratefully received.
Morning again. I'm Ted Barnes. My pronouns are he, his, him, and I'm a lay minister of this congregation. This is a time in our service we set aside to acknowledge the joys and sorrows that we all hold. In both our sharing and in our witness, we affirm our covenant to care for one another. In these perilous and often frightening times as we face the uncertainty of the road ahead in our country and our world, We light our vigil candles in solidarity with all of those who are living in fear for the lives and safety of their loved ones or themselves. May the love which abides in our community offer hope, strength, and peace in the days to come. If you have a personal joy or sorrow you would like to share, please feel free to come on up and share it, or raise your hand and I'll bring you the mic and I'll try and see if anyone's responding on chat too. And let us light a final candle for those joys and sorrows not spoken. May we hold in our hearts those who have spoken, those they have named, and those we hold in silence. May it be so.
This morning, our centering moment is a guided meditation. So I invite you to sit back, relax, close your eyes if you like, and begin breathing deeply. Bring your attention to your breath. Notice how it flows in and out without effort. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest. The coolness of the air as it enters your nostrils and the warmth as it leaves. Stay with this breath, letting it anchor you in the present moment. As you continue to breathe naturally, bring your awareness to the sensations in your body. You might notice the way your muscles feel, any areas of tension or relaxation. Allow yourself to become fully aware of your body as it is in this moment. And now gently shift your attention to your emotional landscape. Notice any feelings that are present, whether it's fear, anxiety, joy, calm, or perhaps a sense of vulnerability. Don't try to change or push these feelings away. Simply observe them. Notice where they live in your body. Is there tightness in your chest? A heaviness in your stomach? Breathe into what you're feeling. Allow yourself to feel these sensations without judgment. Whether it's pleasant or uncomfortable, allow it to exist as it is. There's no need to resist or avoid it. If fear or discomfort arises, notice it. Instead of shrinking away, lean in gently with your awareness. Recognize that this feeling is simply part of being human. It's neither good nor bad. It's just a passing experience. As you breathe into the sensations, acknowledge that feelings come and go like waves. They rise, peak, and eventually fall away. Even the most intense emotions are temporary. With each breath, you can allow the feeling to move through you, knowing that it doesn't define you. You are simply the observer of these emotions. If you feel vulnerable, honor that vulnerability. Notice how it softens you, how it invites you to stay open. There's a quiet strength in allowing yourself to feel fully, to be present with whatever arises. Trust that by sitting with these emotions, you are cultivating resilience. Continue to breathe, staying with the sensations of your emotions, And as you do, remind yourself that vulnerability is not a weakness. It's an expression of your openness to life. Allow your heart to remain open even in the face of discomfort. Take a few more deep breaths, feeling the air move through your body, grounding you in this moment. And when you're ready, gently bring your awareness back to the room. Slowly open your eyes if you have them closed. Take a moment to feel gratitude for the courage that it takes to sit with your feelings. You can return to this practice anytime you're feeling overwhelmed or disconnected. Simply observing your emotions with compassion, you strengthen your heart and deepen your connection to yourself and the world around you. Take one more deep breath and carry this sense of openness and presence with you. This morning, we're introducing a new song. You'll find the words in your order of service. The words are by Reverend Rebecca Parker. The music is by Beth Norton, who's the music director in Concord. The choir will sing the first verse. I'll join them, and then we will all sing both verses together. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. Please join in. There is a love holding me. There is love holding all that I love. There is love holding all. I rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. We rest in this love.
I'm wearing 3 hats today, which is arguably 3 too many. I'm going to read a poem called To Rebuild by Hallie Knight. When she wrote the poem, Hallie Knight was a high school senior living in Florida. Her poem, To Rebuild, was a winner of the 2021 inaugural poem contest for students. To rebuild. The house was built brick by brick, pane by pane, initially withstanding the winds, the force of a hurricane. But over time, the faults are found as storm after storm assails the craftsmanship outdated, in need of reform. The windows break one by one. Under the weight of the wrongs, the structure strains, until one day fire catches and only the foundation of good intentions remains. While easiest would be to walk, to abandon, moving on to rebuild, the value is seen by those who called it home, desires to be fulfilled. Remembering the mistakes, hand in hand we work, entering a new season. The work is not complete until the walls protect all who live there. No exceptions, abandonment of all unnecessary despair. A job led by all, not by one. We work long days turn long nights, the creation of our hands proving more than surface level acknowledgement of rights. The past is not buried, but underlies what we have transformed before our eyes.
Choir, thank you so very much. I know that Polly and I gave you a lot of new music today, and you've done it beautifully. Very much appreciated. We begin today with a story. It's a Scandinavian folktale about a king and queen who were very much in love but missing one thing, which caused them great sorrow: a child. One day the queen was walking in the forest and met an old woman. When she learned of the queen's longing, the woman said, "That is easily fixed. Take these 2 onions, and before you go to bed, peel them and eat them." That night, the queen peeled and gobbled up the first onion, but the second she ate without peeling. In time, the queen gave birth to twins, But the midwife, seeing that the first one was a little snake, threw it out the window. The second baby grew up to be a handsome prince. Years passed, and when the prince grew up, his brother, the snake, showed up to claim his inheritance. As the elder, he insisted that he must be married before his brother could marry. So the word went out around the kingdom, but each time a young princess presented herself, when they were alone, the snake prince ate her. It got harder and harder to find candidates to marry him. Finally, the king ordered a shepherd to send his daughter to the castle. The young girl was terrified, but before she went, she met an old woman and told her what she faced. The woman said, "That is easily fixed. On your wedding day, insist that you be dressed in 10 white dresses." So they were married, and the girl came to the snake's bedchamber wearing 10 dresses. The snake demanded, "Take off your dress," and she did, revealing the next dress below. In turn, the girl demanded, "Shed your skin," and he did. The shedding of dresses and skins continued until the snake prince finally, painfully shed his last skin, revealing his human princely self. In that moment, the girl sprang up and threw her arms around him, surrounding him with her compassion. And, as in all such tales, they fell in love and lived happily ever after, or so the tale goes. Now, the girl in the story clearly could have avoided the confrontation with the prince snake. She could have run away, could have hidden somewhere till they forgot all about her and found another girl. She could have ignored the old woman and just gone to live in the forest. But she decided to face what she feared with her own vulnerability, peeling away the layers and inviting the snake to do the same. Even with the old woman's advice in hand, she must have been terrified. But she chose courage, the courage to be vulnerable. Because, as Kate said in our story today, bravery is not about being scared, about not being scared. It's about being scared and having the courage to do it anyway. Last spring, I participated in a silent meditation retreat led by a wonderful Buddhist nun, Aya Santusika. Our focus was dispelling delusion. And Aya talked about how seductive our negative feelings are. How when someone cuts us off or insults us or criticizes us, there's such a pull to react, to respond in kind. And how we can learn to take a breath, to put a pin in our reactions and say to ourselves, "I'll come back and think about that later." We may find that later, on reflection, we can just let it go. Because meeting negativity with negativity hurts us as least as much as it may hurt the other person. Still, if the negativity we experience is coming at someone we care about, someone we know, if it's an attack on someone's identity or nationality or faith or skin color, we have a choice. We can try to say something, try to intervene, or we can stay in our comfort zone. Of course, deciding to say or do something is a very vulnerable thing. Later this year, we'll have an opportunity to participate in a workshop to learn skills to intervene as active bystanders. But what about the encounters we may have now with family or friends? How do we manage those situations if we decide to step out of the comfortable place of avoiding certain topics, if not certain people? Now, let me be very clear. If what we're experiencing is abusive, physically, emotionally, psychologically, that is something quite different. Abuse requires calling out, setting clear boundaries, protection for the abused, and consequences for the abuser, but that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm speaking about the everyday ways that people speak about others thoughtlessly, unkindly. What is the courageous thing to do or say then, even when we may feel vulnerable? Brene Brown tells us, vulnerability is not about losing. It's about showing up when you can't control the outcome. I participated in a webinar recently with the national organization Braver Angels. and I learned a few skills for stepping up to engage with people, especially family members or close friends, who are on the other side of the political spectrum, whose opinions and ideas are very different from mine. When you're confronted with someone whose views widely diverge from yours, Braver Angels teaches a very simple 4-step plan for stepping up. Step 1 is to clarify or paraphrase what you think the person is saying and sum it up so accurately that they say, "Exactly, you said it better than I could." Maybe start with saying, "I think I hear you saying that, ... Step 2 is to agree or praise. Try to find some common ground. Do they think the 2020 election was stolen? Acknowledge that it was an unusual year. Or if you're really stuck, maybe say, "I agree this is a difficult issue." Or find something else, a value or a common goal. Maybe just, "I know you to be a very loving person." Step 3 is to pivot. Once you've established that you've heard them and acknowledged your shared humanity, see if they're willing to hear you. Now, this is trickier, and it involves indicating that you're about to offer a different perspective, making sure that the person really wants to hear what you have to say. If not, skip to step 4. Step 4 is to offer perspective. You do this with personal stories, sharing how a certain issue has affected you personally, like, "My son is stuck in a job he hates because he has no other healthcare options." Then people can see that they're not just arguing about how vile any given politician is. They'll also be reminded that there are deeply felt reasons for the way people think. The point here is that you're not trying to change somebody's mind, you're trying to change their heart, touch their heart. I learned decades ago, working with an organization called the National Coalition Building Institute, that the way to shift people's minds is by changing their hearts. And we change hearts through sharing personal stories. Reach out to the neighbor, child, friend, or family member who thinks differently. Don't be the one who cuts them off or lets them cut themselves off. If you see, hear, or witness something, lead with curiosity. What makes you think that? Can you tell me more about that? Did you notice how in the story earlier, as bad as he is, no one talks about slaying the dragon? They're trying to work with that dragon-y energy, trying to avoid violence, although the dragon eating the young girls was quite violent. In Buddhism, as in Christianity and other religions, no killing is an important precept. Turning the other cheek, turning toward love for all beings, no matter how hard it feels. And also turning toward love for ourselves, no matter how ashamed and inadequate we feel, no matter how vulnerable it may feel to peel back the layers. Love is the only way. It's the only way forward, the only way to heal, the only way to come through whole. Underneath all those layers, the snake believed that he was completely unlovable. And so many of us are definitely convinced we're unlovable. That's why we have to, metaphorically, take those who disagree with us in our arms, the way the young girl did with the snake, and embrace them, convince them that they are loved. It's a very vulnerable thing to do, but it's the only way to heal and bring them back into the circle where we all belong. Personally, I've made a commitment that no matter what hatred or nastiness or blatant wrong-headedness may escape in my direction, and no matter the ways that we each layer ourselves over for protection, I will keep letting compassion break through. I'll be open to listening when others express their hurt and anger about situations in their lives, no matter how scared I am. No matter how much easier it would be to pass, to stay comfortable, I'll reach out. And I'll stay open to healing with them so we can all be whole again. Because the only way to live is in the light of love and truth. This is Brene Brown once again. Courage is a heart word. The root of the word courage is cor, the Latin word for heart. Courage originally meant to speak one's mind by telling all one's heart. Over time, this definition has changed, and today courage is more synonymous with being heroic, she says. Heroics is important, we certainly need heroes, but I think we've lost touch with the idea that speaking honestly and openly about who we are, about what we're feeling, about our experiences, good and bad, is the definition of courage. Ordinary courage, says Brown, is putting our vulnerability on the line, and in today's world, that's pretty extraordinary. Love is at the center of our faith, and I know in our hearts we all aspire to move in that direction. Let's take time now to set an intention to turn to love, to resist the dragons in ourselves, in others, meeting them with gentleness and vulnerability. Like the snake in the story, let's have the courage to peel away the layers of our anger, defensiveness, distrust, animosity, opening up fully to love and compassion for ourselves, for each other, for all humanity. That's the intention I set this year, to the best of my ability, again and again, to turn toward love, to choose love every time. Because people of love and justice, we are the ones we've been waiting for. And in the words of the Karanaya Sutra, let's be determined to follow the path of peace. Let us not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and safety, may all beings be at ease. May it be so. May it ever be so. Blessed be, amen. And now, please rise as you are willing and or able, and join in singing hymn number 347, Gather the Spirit. Lean into community. Seek out love. Applaud the good you see. Keep paying attention. Talk to your neighbors. Dance to the music and embrace art. Look for love and small joys.
Dear friends, take all that we have shared here this morning out into the world. Be a blessing to all those you meet, and may you yourselves be blessed. Amen.